Hello, wonderful good morning. SF Live breaking news special. We're going to be talking to Marcio Fonseca in a few short seconds. He's the president and CEO of GR Silver Mining. They put out some fantastic drill holes this morning, and Marcio is going to provide us some more context on those. What do they mean? What do they mean to the project and also the upcoming resource calculation that they're planning to do. So we'll be diving into that in just a few seconds, but please be reminded to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, that little bell icon tells you when we go live with another update, especially these breaking news specials. We think they add a lot of value, so make sure you don't miss those, as we usually put those out right after market open. Make sure you don't miss them as well. And that's pretty much from my end. Let's switch over to Mr. Marcio Fonseca. Marcio, wonderful good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
I can't complain. Can't complain. It's Monday morning, right? So, what are we gonna do? It's been a good weekend, though. I have to admit, I enjoyed watching the Super Bowl, so I hope you had a good time as well.
Yeah, was good. Great.
Well,
Yeah.
Monday morning press releases usually mean you've been busy over the weekend, right? Getting the release out, getting it all sorted. Run us through the key highlights.
For sure. The news release.
Yeah, run us through the key highlights. Sorry, not the Super Bowl. We don't need a recap of that. People go to NFL.com for that. No. Run us through the key highlights of your press release. Like, run us through the intercepts that you put out this morning.
For sure. It's another milestone for the company because we are still drilling with the 3 drill rigs at Plomosas. That's part of the news release, and the 2 at San Juan. And we released 2 drill holes that were important for us as part of the drilling in the zone 775. That's gold and copper rich with some silver and other metals. But we came across very narrow but interesting, super high grade gold grades, like close to 1 meter, close to 20 grams per ton gold. It's very like powerful as a method to show to us that the mineralized system, it's really powerful, and there's a lot of opportunities, and we'll continue to drill. Some holes define that the mineralization is being cut off by faults along the strike, but the other end is open, and we are still open down deep, and very excited.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you said there's a lot of opportunities, right? And you still have lots to work through. Run us through those opportunities right now, and what are you looking at?
Yeah. So the drilling is concentrated in one of the 3 targets inside the mine. And we have identified that at the bottom of the mine, there's this gold and copper rich. But recently, mapping and sampling in other levels of the mine have defined similar structures hosting gold and copper at different levels, showing that what we are releasing is probably one of 3 zones inside that mine. And that mine is only 400 meters of the strike length that today the structure, we know that runs close to 1.2 kilometers in that hill. It's a big hill.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's a direct quote for you. Plomosas project is a district scale system, and I've seen junior companies throw that word around district scale very loosely without even having put a drill hole into anything. Like, how do you define district scale? What does that mean for you?
District scale for me means that you should be looking not for one commodity, it's for the whole geological setting that is really shows that how diverse and the variety of types of mineralization that can really be in that system. And of course, dimensions, strike length, numbers of occurrences, and historical activity. That's important.
Yeah, and you mentioned silver is still a major component. Like, how does that shape up to be? Like, you put out a lot of holes that, as you said, very gold rich. How is that going to look like in the resource estimate? Is there any indication yet?
The resource estimation that's in progress is for 2 areas, that Plomosas mine area and the San Juan. I just want to remind the audience that we have great results, silver results at San Juan recently, and we still believe that the largest component in the future resource is going to be silver, okay? Considering where we are with the drilling and the work in progress.
Yeah, and I was joking with you before we went live as well, right? Whether you're about to rename the company from GR Silver Mining to GR Silver and Gold and some other stuff, but what was your answer to that?
My answer is that the business is still silver. We believe that the district, that Rosario district, is silver predominantly. With the acquisition of the Trinidad concessions, the Mako mining concessions in the area, we know now that inside the concessions that we recently acquired, that we signed a definitive agreement, we have at least 18 silver, gold, quartz veins showings that we have visited. So that's give the magnitude why silver is important.
Yeah, and you just mentioned La Trinidad as well. Like, any update on the closing process? Are we all good there?
Everything is going as planned. We are in the process now to tick some boxes, which is very common in agreements like this. We sign the agreement and you give to both parties some days or weeks to wrap up some of the pending materials. And we're still on track for the closing by March.
Yeah, fantastic. We only had you on last Monday, so
Yeah.
that's fairly recent. Now with the acquisition of La Trinidad, do you expect the resource estimate to be pushed back a little bit, or are you still on track to deliver within your given time frame?
As today, the resource is still on track, but as you see, when you release a drill hole like this, you need to incorporate that type of drilling into the resource model. If you keep hitting this, it might delay a bit because you need to bring these assets to the resource. You cannot let them out.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And since you mentioned assays as well, like you still have a lot of historic core to work through that hasn't been released yet. And where do you stand on that? Like, how many holes do you have left to take a look at or re-assay and to release, of course?
Roughly, probably have close to 280 still to validate, but we want to add more and more new holes into the resource to increase the participation of brand new holes that the company is drilling. That's why you try to mix or have news release of only our drill holes on a mixed of old and historical, because it's good to show everything in the proper context, no?
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And just give us a quick update on where you're at in your current drill program and what that looks like right now.
As I said earlier, 5 drill rigs. We are probably 2/3 of the drilling program, but the company has made a decision internally last month to speed up and probably try to drill at least 10,000 meters in this first quarter.
Just 10,000 meters. Okay, yeah. So I was just my next question was going to be what's the cutoff date for a potential resource? But with all that drilling going on, it's going to be a while.
Theoretically, we have a cutoff date for the assays by first week of March. Okay. But as I said earlier, also is related to the amount of the quality of the data, the quality of intersections that we are seeing. No, it's important for us.
Yeah. Allow me one last follow-up question. What's the lab turnaround time? Has that changed at all recently?
Say again.
What's the lab turnaround time? Has that slowed down at all, or because that also is a factor, of course?
You mean the activities at the La Trinidad mine?
No, sorry, at the labs, the assay labs.
At the labs, sorry. It's coming back, but still there's a much longer time from the shipping of the sample to the lab to the delivery of the assays. What used to be 15 days, probably now is 25.
Yeah. And how many holes do you have in the lab right now? When can we expect some more results?
We have probably 6 holes at the lab.
Okay. And
so close to, together with some samples that we took from the historical core, we still have close to 2,500 samples at the lab.
Okay, that's quite a bit of data coming out. So we won't get bored. I think I mentioned that before. Your company's not going to bore us with no news flow. So it's going to stay exciting. Marcio.
That's good.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you back on next week, eh?
Thank you.
Fantastic. No, we'll be talking again very soon once you put out more results. Really appreciate you coming on this morning. It's always good to get some color on the results and to see your excitement about them as well. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Perfect. Everybody else, thanks for watching. This was an SF Live breaking news special with Marcio Fonseca. He's president and CEO of GR Silver Mining. Make sure to follow the company. And of course, we are biased. They're a paying client of ours. We own shares and options in the company. I'm happy to own them. And go check out the press release. Marcio has been mentioning to me Figure 2 is extremely important. Take a look at it. It outlines the Plomosas area from a drone view. So make sure you take a look. It's super insightful. Marcio, thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon. And oh, wait. 10 a.m. Join us for Nikki Etzad Bell. She's going to be joining us for a discussion on junior mining. Really looking forward to it. But now I'm done. See you later.